Here's something too.
Okay.
So I told you this, and I don't think that any place is going to be open right now, but I was laying in bed 2 days ago.
Right.
And I put a piece of gum in my mouth.
Okay.
And I was like staring at this Orbit's Winter Mint gum, and it had a phone number on it.
Okay.
And it says, where the fuck is it? It says questions, comments,
right,
and it gives a number. And I'm like, who the fuck is calling this hotline for questions and comments? Also, if you have a question or comment, there's got to be a human on the other end of the line.
Good.
I picked up the phone. I called. Much to my surprise, a human being answered this phone
over at Orbit.
Nearly immediately.
Well, how many people are calling? I mean, I guess she's just waiting for the phone to ring. He, she, what?
It was a she.
She, okay.
First of all, that's a good question. You might think, well, how many people are calling? But this is on a product that is millions and millions of these are out there.
Yeah, but it's such a low cost.
What are they fielding a day? How many calls a day? 100?
I'd say even that's a lot, but yeah, maybe.
Then why employ someone to do it?
I don't know. Huh?
Why?
You don't think it's her only job?
Oh my God, it's got to be her only job.
That would be.
And I'll tell you another thing. It wasn't like a college kid. It wasn't like let me make extra money. Like it was like a woman, and it was just like she was following like so I decided to call. So I didn't know what I was going to say. So on the side of this it says phenylketonurics.
Jesus.
And it contains phenylalanine, whatever the fuck. It's like that's on a lot of shit. I see that, and
right.
Why does it have to say that? It must be bad, right? So she just picked up, and I'm like, hey, I was like, I'm chewing this Orbit's Winter Mint, and she was like, yeah. I'm like, I got some questions, comments, and she's like, yep, like that's her thing.
That's her thing.
What is it, sir? And I go phenyl,
you know what? You know what just occurred to me? She's probably the call center for a bunch of different products. She's not just doing Orbit's gum. She's feeling Snickers.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So she's not sure, right. Sure. Okay, but still,
sure.
Then now she's okay. Now the calls are up. Now the frequency of calls, the amount of calls she's receiving a day,
right,
are up.
Sure. Now she's got a real job. Now she's making stew.
Right.
She's in it.
And I bet you she's in a department. She's not just the lone person.
She's in like a cubicle
calls.
With a cubicle next to her.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
Okay, so phenylketonurics.
Sure.
She explains to me, she jumps right on this one. Because obviously this is you could tell she's fielded it before. Because this is what's right above the number. So it's, so she was like, boom, she went right into it. It was like seamless, effortless script. But she memorized it. Oh, it's a natural enzyme that your body already blah, 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 produces it. And it actually helps. It's in other foods. It's in blah, blah, blah. But we need to put it on there because some people have adverse reactions to it, need to know when it's in certain things, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, P.S. I looked this up. This is not good for you.
No.
It's not good for you.
Well, you can't expect a corporation to hire a human to sit there to badmouth them.
Not badmouth it, but she could have also been like, well, it has been linked to so-and-so.
Why would you do that? If you would ask, well, has it ever been linked to anything? That's a direct question.
Well, I did start poking around.
Really?
And then she had to look. She was like, let me look it up. And she was just looking it up. And I'm like, this fucking lady. So then I was like, I said something about sugar. And she's like, I'm like, does this have sucralose? She's like, no, it doesn't. It has sorbitol. And I was like, yeah, I was like, oh, sorbitol. What's that about? Right. And she's like, hold on. And then she goes and she's like, sorbitol, blah, blah. And she goes on and on about sorbitol.
Well, it sounds like she's talking to you with like a fucking attitude.
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
She actually was not. Right. And then she comes back to me and says, sorbitol, blah, 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 blah. And it's a natural sugar, again, natural and blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay. I said, well, how many grams of sugar is in it? And she's like, 0. I'm like, oh, so sorbitol's a sugar substitute. And she's like, yes, it is. And
I know how busy you are. What are you doing with your free time?
I was on the phone.
What are you doing?
I was on the phone with the Orbit's lady for 15 minutes. I was just laying in bed on the phone with her.
Okay.
Because it occurred to me as I'm talking to her.
Right.
This is her job.
Sure.
This phone call ends when I want it to, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
I could go on and on.
I'm sure that there are triggers that they can get off the phone with you.
Maybe if I call her on a C.
Sure. Sure.
But other
or an
than that,
ocean or something like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but she's staying on the phone.
Right.
So I'm like, oh god. So then I'm like, let me have some fun with this lady, right?
Okay.
So I go, she goes, is there anything else? And I said, yeah, well, yes. I said, I have suggestions. And she goes, well, what are they? And I go, well, I said, I was thinking, and I just thought, I go, and then I literally was seeing if I can make myself laugh.
Right.
So I started actually like talking like this. I was like, well, I was thinking, what is my favorite time? And what I came up with was, it's my birthday. And that is probably a lot of people's favorite times.
Right.
And why is it my favorite time? Because of the cake. So what I think you should
And you were talking like this?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So what I think you should do is make a birthday cake flavor. Okay. And I'll tell you why this is going to be awesome. Because not only will people buy it because they like the birthday cake flavor,
Sure.
just like they buy it because they like the Winterman flavor, but people will also start to put it in gift bags for people's birthdays. And guess when people's birthdays are? Every day. Right? So she's like, okay. And I hear her going,
right.
she's typing it in, right?
Yeah, these are valuable comments.
I'm like, oh, she's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, huh? I'm like, maybe you make all the sticks different colors, like birthday confection, like birthday sprinkles or whatever. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, maybe you start putting names on the packs. Because if I want a pack of gum because I like it, I'm going to buy it even if it says Jan.
Right.
I don't care that it says Jan. But if I'm Jan or buying a gift for Jan, I'm going to go get the gum that has Jan's name on it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it doesn't have to affect the regular consumer, but then it's incentivizing other non-consumers.
This is good marketing.
So she's writing it all, and then she says, "Yeah, well, she says, okay, this is great. I'll forward this on." I go, "Oh, forward it to who?" She's like, "Well, we forward it on to the suggestions. We forward them on to the company." And I go, "Okay, so what's my cut then?" And she says, "Your cut of what?" I said, "Well, this is a home run idea. You know this." I said, "I I just called you with a home run. You know this." I said, "So now, if I see birthday gum in 6 months, like what's my cut? What kind of percentage are we talking?"
Sure.
She says, "No, we will not use your suggestion." I said, "Well, how do you know?" I said, you just told me it was a great idea." She's like, "It is, but we don't use suggestions." She's like, "Do you want to sell us a suggestion?" I go, "Sure, I'll sell it." She goes, "Well, we don't buy suggestions."
Well, why would she set you up like that?
So
that's
stupid.
cruel.
Yeah. So I go, she goes, "We don't buy it." I go, "Wait, so you don't buy suggestions and you don't take suggestions?" She goes, "No." I go, "But you just took my suggestion and wrote it down." She goes, "Right." I go, "So you do take suggestions?" She goes, "But we'll never use it." I go, "So where are the suggestions going?"
Right.
She goes, "Well," she didn't know, and she goes, "Well," and I go, I said, "Where is my birthday cake suggestion going?" And she said, she literally said this. She said, "Sir," I said, "Yes." She goes, "You know when you just have something to say and you wish someone would listen?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "That's what this is."
Wow.
I was like, "But you were typing it." I was like, "Someone's going to get this." She goes, "Yes, because we do send it on." I go, "So then what is the point?"
Right.
I said, "Because what it seems like is that you're culling free ideas from people across the country, and then you're basically cashing in on them, and we're getting squat." And she's like, "No, we just like to know what our customers like and what they're thinking."
Okay.
It was a very gray area.
Yeah.
So I started to give her the business, and she says, "Well, we already kind of have something like this."
Whoa.
I said, "Oh, like what?" She goes, "Maybe you might be interested in chewing our mint chocolate chip."
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Man, that's not really like birthday cake." She's like, "Well, what about our peach cobbler?"
Okay.
I said, "Okay, peach cobbler." Now
Right.
that's like a pie, right?
Sure.
That's a little more like a cake. I said, "I'd never heard of this before." And I said, "It tastes like peach cobbler?"
Mm.
And she said, "Yes." I said, "Is it sugar free?" She says, "Yes." Then she looks at it. Actually, it has 1 gram of sugar.
Okay.
So then I'm getting cute with her now.
Right.
And I say, "Oh, it has 1 extra gram?"
Right.
And she says, "Yes." I said, sometimes 1 extra gram ain't so bad. When I was little, my grandpa got divorced and married again. So I had 3 grandmas. So I had an extra gram. She was sweet too. And she's like, "Oh,
Now,
okay."
a woman in her position, she's loving this? This is a break from the day?
She was not laughing.
How are you not?
It's what I'm saying, because I feel like she gets real kooks all the time, and I didn't sound amusing to her. I probably was par for the course for the kooks that called these numbers and stayed on the phone for 15 minutes.
Just kookiness.
Yeah, and then when I said that, and then I'm like, wait a minute. So I can chew gum and it'll be like I'm eating peach cobbler for 5 calories. Sign me up. And she just was like, okay. Like, and then after I said that about my grandma, she was like, anything else?
Right.
And I was like, no, but we talked for like 10, 15 minutes.
Wow.